Okay, good evening and welcome to the Limerick Select Board meeting for August 26, 2024. Please join us for the flag salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, well, as far as approving the minutes, we'll have to do that next time. We don't have them in front of us this time, so we'll do that in our next meeting. And, as far as the warrants, we only have the payroll warrant to approve, to consider and approve, so is there a motion to do that?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Would someone read the announcements, please?
Yes. Does she want?
Not tonight.
The Building Advisory Committee will meet Tuesday, August 27th at 7 p.m. The Planning Board will meet Wednesday, September 4th at 7 p.m. The Budget Committee will meet on Thursday, September 5th at 7 p.m. The Select Board will meet on Monday, September 9th at 7 p.m. The Municipal Building will be closed on Monday, September 2nd for the Labor Day holiday. The Appeals Board has 2 vacant seats to fill. Please reach out to the Select Board admin if interested at 793-4475. As a reminder, if you're speaking at any meeting, please go to the microphone so everyone will be able to hear. As part of the hearing and citizen policy, no personal attacks on any individual or firm, including town employees, town officials, or members of the public will be tolerated during any meeting. Please direct concerns about individual employees or town officials to the chairman or the Board of Select Persons outside the public meeting. And please stay current with town information by visiting www.limerickme.org.
All right, thank you.
Have we asked the Building Advisory Committee to now go back and revisit the old fire station? They were waiting for the new one to be built before they gave any recommendation on that building?
I know that we have a meeting tomorrow on it.
On
We have a meeting tomorrow and that is on a topic to discuss.
Okay, good. Okay, we'll move on to department reports. So we'll start with Dave McLean to speak about the Charter Commission.
Good evening, Dave McLean, speaking on behalf of the Charter Commission. As you're aware, we've been meeting since 2023. We've had a number of meetings to come up with some suggestions and put together in a document a charter for the town. So we've done a lot of research into other charters. We've had a lot of discussions with other communities that have had put charters together and seen some of the good and some of the bad. Mostly the discussion is around what it's done for their town. So we feel pretty confident the document that we have that we'll present to you will be a document that will continue what's been going on in town day to day, with a couple exceptions, and I'll get into that in a second here. So we've had a lot of guidance by the town attorney in going through this document. A lot of the provisions of that document that we put together come out of some of the other towns, so there wasn't a lot of legal stuff that needed to be done. That stuff had already been done prior. So we've had 3 public hearings, and we've received a lot of really good comments, some positive, and some people that express their opinions about whether we need a charter or a town manager were expressed. So the charter we have the draft of is in about 8 different sections, and I just wanted to briefly go through that. Article 1 is the granting of powers to the town, town meeting and elections. All that stuff is happening now. We just put it in a document, so it's in one place, so people don't have to search all over for it. There are different sections in there dealing with town meetings, town warrants, closing of the warrants, all of that stuff. So and easy to find and what the responsibilities are. So we get into board members, what board members are, eligibility, election terms, compensation, chair, vice chair, lays out all those responsibilities of the board. So we get into, meetings, attendance, forfeiture of office, so all of those things are laid out there. So we get into Article 4, the administrative organization, and that's one of the provisions that we added in there. It was the consensus of the commission members is that in discussion with former select board members, that the town is long overdue to have somebody overseeing on a daily basis in the form of a town manager. So that article lays out that structure for that town manager with departments and boards, policies, committees, how all that stuff would be run. Article 5 deals with boards and commissions, appointments, vacancies, how the officials of the town will work, filing of examinations, certifications of petitions, so on and so forth. So all that is laid out and the timeframes that go along with that. Article 7 is business and financial provisions. So it lays out the responsibility, the budget, the independent audits, fiscal year, preparation and submission of budgets. Budget establishes appropriations, tax establishment of property tax, transfer appropriations, so on and so forth. The sales, competitive bidding, purchase and sales bidding procedures, all those things that might be in policy or ordinance right now are laid out in here in a statement, not in the policy itself. Article 8 is the recall provision. You have a recall provision now. This one adds to it or elaborates a little bit more onto it, so there's no confusion. And Article 9 is amendments and revisions, and as an appendix with all the anything that's talked about in that with a definition of that. So there's no. So that's it in a nutshell. I know a few of the select board were kind enough to come to the last public hearing and express their thoughts on the charter, and we certainly appreciate the feedback that we got for that. So moving forward, I have sent to Alicia the wording that needs to be put on the ballot for the vote in November. So moving forward, we will finish up this document to have a final document. This is going to go to the attorney one more time to make sure that it's the document is without any error and there's no questions or ambiguities in the wording. And that will come back to us, and then that will be presented to you with a final document, the final report. We have to do a report on this. Natalie has to send a letter to you, to the board, saying that the document is complete and without error. So once that's done, we'll issue the final report, and then it'll be put on the ballot and the vote. Questions?
Nope, just gratitude for all the board has done.
Thank you. I just wanted to mention that we, as I was mentioning to Gil earlier, is that we had a really good board. We worked together really well. There was a lot of discussion. Even if we disagreed, we agreed to disagree, or we come to a compromise. So, and I think we did that with a lot of the comments that we got from the 3 public hearings. So we saw what because it is their charter. It's the town charter. It's not the commission's charter. So we took a look at those types of issues that people brought up, and we met on it, and we agreed on it, and we compromised on a lot of that stuff. So to make it a good document. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Okay, next up, we have Stan Hackett, CEO.
Good evening, Stan Hackett, Code Enforcement, among a few other titles. Just wanted to give a year-to-date, up-to-date totals. For Code Enforcement, this is just building permits. This is not plumbing or the licensing. In permitting, we received, as of August 23rd, $74,076.59. Permits issued so far, year-to-date's 99. Single-family homes permits is 35 of those 99 permits, which is up almost double of what last year's was year-to-date. So that's for the permitting. I didn't know if the board would like me to give an update on the town-owned properties as far as the tax-acquired properties, where we stand on that. I know I sent you an email giving you some numbers and some statistics. But we have 39 tax-acquired properties. That includes Olair Drive and the other ones that we have recently resolved. Out of town-owned properties, 119 are court-settled or otherwise owned, which could be inherited when Wilmington and Limerick actually moved their town lines. So a few of these owned properties go that far back, including the Hastings properties, which is often Quarry Road. 8 of the tax-acquired properties have been redeemed by the heirs or their owners. We are currently working with 3 other property owners and trying to get them to pay their back taxes and retain their ownership. 2 of them the town has helped find them financial institutions which they were able to redeem their properties. One fell a little bit short because he borrowed enough money to pay the debt, but then decided to buy an ATV and go on a short vacation. But the amount of money that's still owed is very minimal, and he has assured us that he will pay that, and that does not include the 2024 taxes. But until that $2,600 is paid, we still have the deed, and the foreclosure remains in process. But I am sure that we'll be able to work with the individual. The other one, his daughter is very much actively involved, and she has assured us that in September he'll be able to pay his full balance. Then we have a third one that's been going back and forth where she's doing online banking, and apparently the check keeps getting lost, but we're working with that individual. So we do want to maintain the town's standing. We would rather you have your property, and we will work with you to maintain that, but the town cannot legally make payment arrangements. So we're trying to do the best we can as a town to keep you in your properties and own your own properties. If the town does end up foreclosing and selling your property, it has to be done by real estate. The town has looked into 3 different realtors so far. If they wish, we can do more, and we get proportionate bids on what they think the values are, what the cost is going to be to sell them, and any proceeds go to the heirs or to the former owner. So the town is only getting what is owed on taxes and what it has expended in legal fees, or cost. So if you see the word cost, it's legal fees and other costs that the town has paid, postage or any other means that. So, but that is the only thing the town's getting. So far, we have resolved, including Olair Drive, $99,185 worth of the tax-acquired issues.
Can you repeat that? 99,000?
$99,185.09. The properties they have redeemed and paid their back taxes, which is 8 of them, amounted to, so far, $45,216. 3 of the tax, which I've just gone over, are committed to redeeming their properties. That amounts to $12,264. 3 of the other properties, which is Olair Drive, and that's been ongoing for many, many years. We've resolved that, and Southern Maine Modular is now, we have found out today that out of 4 of the structures, which are the manholes, 3 of them are in place already. We did locate them, and only, they need to install one, which is on the far corner coming back on the return. The only other thing they need to do is just put the curb stops or the water shut-offs on 2 lots, so all the rest are there. They have committed to, by this fall, they will have the first layer or sub-layer of tar on the road. And then they have asked the town, or asked me to ask the town if the board will agree, once that sub-layer of concrete pavement is down, and they're going to plow it this winter, is if we will reduce the irrevocable letter of credit for only the amount to the remaining infrastructure that needs to be done. And I said I would approach that, and I don't really foresee any problems. Right now, the irrevocable letter of credit is for $177,000. So the majority of that work will be done, and then they will have the sub-base pavement on the ground this year. So, there are also remaining 2 properties were abandoned, and we declared that legally abandoned. Those came to $3,809. There are 2 others that we're desperately trying to find any heirs possible. If not, right now there are none. And under legal advisement, we may declare those abandoned as well. But at this point, that is one of the last resorts we do, because we try to make sure that if there are any heirs, then we contact them. Now, if we sell a property and it's tax acquired and there are no heirs that we can get to or to return monies to, the excessive or the excess monies to, then that money goes to the unclaimed properties in the state of Maine. So the town is not getting any extra money on these. Properties that the town owns by title acquired or by court order, right now, the board is allowed to sell them at auction. This was the other question that I wanted to run by the board, is either put it on the ballot for November or wait until March. But I would add to that warrant article to sell it in any best means to the interest of the town, including by real estate. Because if you sell it by realtor, you're getting a better market value than you are by auction. So, but that is totally up to the board. But you have over 100 properties in that situation now, so, which at the lowest annual tax revenues, which is 0.46 acres and Lake Arrowhead, the revenues on that annually is $2,000. So if you multiply that by the 119, you're coming out to roughly $388,000 worth of revenues at the base. So those are things, but those are options. At this point, there's no rush to get rid of them, but there is an importance to get rid of them because those are like your revenues. But the most important thing is that we get rid of the tax acquired, either the owners redeem them or the town resolves them, because those are totally detrimental to the whole purpose of taxes. The only other thing that we had that's coming up in the future is the licensing. The licensing ordinance is only for people or businesses that are required to have a state licenses that are also licensed by the town. In other words, liquor and alcohol, automobile graveyards, recycling, entertainments, vendors. So those are the only ones this really applies to, and it reinforces the state licensing and helps protect the liability of the town, because the boards, or boards in some cases, have to issue another license on top of it, saying that they're in all of the ordinances, that they're in compliance. The other piece to this is if those individuals do owe taxes to the town, they cannot get their state license or the town license until those taxes are current. And it doesn't mean if they owe 2024 taxes, Those would be current right now because we haven't completed that tax year. So, but if they owe taxes from 2023 in the past, before you can issue them a new license, that's what that entails.
So those are only people that have to be licensed by the state
Yes.
and the town separately?
Correct.
So like a used car lot, perhaps?
A used car sale, anything that a state license requires the municipality to license as well.
Also?
Yes.
So like somebody like a plumber who needs a state license is exempt because we don't deal with them?
No. And again, originally, I think everybody knows that my original licensing agreement was like 100 pages long. But we're not in the business to do that. We don't need to regulate it. We are going to look at short-term rentals because those have been problematic around the lakes. This year, they've become really notable. And the biggest issue is the noises, the roughhousing, the issues that they're doing in the lake, as well as if the cottage was designed for a 3-bedroom and they're renting it for 17 people, the subsurface system is undoubtedly going to fail. So that will require, again, upon town approval, we got to review it. We'll do that next year. But that will have a fee, and it will be a minimal fee, but it will have a fee to it because, again, it's becoming problematic. So, other than that, I think we're pretty well good. Obviously, your ordinances are constantly being reviewed for changes, and we are changing rapidly. So.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for, the work you've done to bring in that tax revenue, the extra, the lost, call it lost money, but past due money has been significant. And I think it, although you've done it as part of your regular everyday work, which is, again, more appreciated, it certainly shows the need for a town manager. This is something that a town manager should be doing, would be doing, to collect some of this back stuff. It's certainly not the code officer's job. Stan agreed to take on this kind of special position to help us out, but he's gone way above and beyond. And if we look at this alone, the $99,000 brought in here would come pretty close to covering your cost of a town manager, so.
And I will support, the Charter Commission has done an enormous amount of work. That is not easy. It's 13 months of really dedicated work, and they met every week or almost every week to do this. So they've done a really good job. You don't necessarily need a charter to have a town manager's form of government, but it is a humongous step forward. And that town manager not only can help you with your taxes, but it's a consistent administrative duty every day. It also helps retain the grants. So there is a plus. I know I'm upselling the charter, but there is a lot of people outside of myself. You've got Gail, you got Stephanie, you got Joanne, that every day go above and beyond their duties. And it's part of the teamwork of the town. So the town manager will be the solidification that envelopes everything and kind of takes some of the burdens off in the select board that doesn't have the time to do that. So there's my spiel.
Thank you.
Is there anything else?
Oh, I think we're good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to old business. There were no, where we don't have the warrants except for payroll, we don't see any legal bills, so there's nothing of that to review. And the cemetery mowing and the Veterans Cemetery Committee, we have no update on that this week. And the town charter update, we just got that from Dave, so that's good. Brick Town Hall repairs and the SRC TV proposal. We do have a proposal to move the equipment from the Brick Town Hall to the to this building, so we'll be reviewing that and getting that in the works.
So we have,
that.
have we got that proposal yet?
Yeah.
It's in here?
Gil has it.
Okay. And
That's different than the one we got last time.
Yeah.
we haven't contracted Connectivity Point
No,
Yeah,
they
'cause we've-
haven't sent our contract.
because we voted for them to do it.
Yes.
All right. There goes the screen.
Gail.
She's just gonna
What,
make
the,
it quick.
do you have the SRC TV proposal?
Yes. Should be third.
Yep, the one I have is a quote from Saco River for $10,000 to disintegration of the old brick town hall camera and the rack equipment and transferring it to the municipal building. Disassemble and removal of municipal building, control room, camera system, AV rack. Set up temporary interim broadcast single cam system. Installation, configuration of new equipment, including fourth camera. There's currently 3 in here. Additional accessories, cabling connectors, distribution amplifiers, etc. So they say they can begin as soon as August 26th. And it would require a 50% retainer up front and 50% on completion. So I'll pass that down if anyone else wants to take a look at it.
They could have started today.
I just think one thing that needs to be thought of, I know that it's cheaper than what Connectivity Point, but I think it's going to, actually, I know it's gonna take away every bit of warranty that we have on that new equipment with Connectivity Point. So if it gets moved here by SRC TV, we have no warranty on any of that equipment.
Will we keep the warranty if Connectivity Point moves it?
Yeah, cause it's their equipment that we've paid for, that they, so,
What was their quote?
theirs was 14,000.
And we have budgeted 25.
We have 25 in
Yeah.
the account.
Do we have 25 in the account?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have it, I just, $60,000 worth of equipment is going to get moved here with,
And $60,000 worth of equipment was just replaced under
And that's-
insurance, right?
yeah, and that's the equipment that's coming, or that we wanna move.
Right,
Yeah.
I just wanna,
So that's my only thing I wanted to say on.
You know, it might have been nice to have that number 2 weeks ago, but we voted to give it to Connectivity Point. They brought the equipment in. It's their equipment. I mean, are we gonna end up getting one of these, like, when something happens, you know, is Connectivity Point gonna say, well,
They're not gonna probably work with us if we don't. If we don't have a move, I don't see why they would. They haven't said that, but,
Yeah.
I mean, you're asking another company to
Come
move
in,
their.
yeah.
So they're not gonna come in, and if we call them and have a problem, it's not gonna be under our, like, I'm sure there'll be a charge to it, a bigger charge, or they're just gonna not wanna be a part of it because their company too. So.
So I guess we'll keep it the way it is.
that would be my opinion.
Will someone formalize that into a motion?
I don't think we need one. I mean, we've already motioned, we've already agreed. I mean, you know, it's somebody coming in after the fact. I mean, how fair is that also, right? Like, you've announced on TV what you're paying. We agree, we go to contract, and then somebody comes in and says, wait a minute, I can do it cheaper?
And honestly, if you go
I
along
mean,
with
we
your
can thank them.
policy, you really should be
Yeah,
getting another
we already
quote.
voted for it. I mean, it's, Nothing against SRCTV, but we've already put it all forward.
Okay, let's move forward. Next item is the town-owned property letters, and Stan has already spoken to that. And shelter survey, is there any update, Katie?
I don't have an update, but I have talked with Ray just today. We're gonna work on getting together so that we can button that up.
Okay, good, we'll look forward to that. And update Microsoft Exchange email, that will happen in December when Chris has time.
Don't we pay him for a certain amount of time each year?
I think we changed him to 40 hours a week,
Yeah,
didn't
we added,
No, not a week.
Oh,
A year.
Oh.
Year.
I was
So
like,
Gail and I met with him, which was great. I think all my questions were answered. I think Gail, I can't speak for Gail, but I think we both felt good about it. This does become his very busy season in the next few weeks here. I think he's already started actually, but it's going to be a whole weekend process basically where you will not, nobody will be on their emails. Like so he basically offered us December time. I mean, what, yeah.
Am I going crazy, or did we talk, I felt like, I could have sworn we talked about this a little while ago, and it could be flipped in a switch, that we could be over.
I think on our end, the process of starting it, but then he has, it's like Gail, was it like at
Email
least 4 to 8 hours of. It definitely was a significant time that he said it would take to
Okay.
transfer it all over.
because it's easy enough to get the emails going, but then we have to transfer everything and make sure it's forwarded
Yes.
appropriately.
So it looks like December.
At his mercy.
I know last
Well,
year,
and that's how we
it
felt.
was
I
busy
don't-
for him last year around this time too, when we were working
It's
on
his,
getting the
I think it's fair
laptops.
season,
That's coming up.
and they were doing a big change of
Yep.
technology stuff for the Freiburg Fair.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
I mean, I guess we could have begged for it, but I don't think it would have been beneficial to us to do that.
Okay, next item is the purchase and sale agreement for Allaire Drive, an
Did we
update.
miss the squad truck?
It's on hold.
I'm assuming this can come off now.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think there's really, Stan touched on it, but there's not an everyday update anymore. Or every week.
Okay, nothing more on that, so the trio training update, there's nothing new on that this week either. Discussion of real estate agents for Dog Road parcels and Range E Road lot. So I know we've got some information from at least 3 agents. Do we want to approve moving forward with one or more of those to take care of those properties?
I think they were all good proposals. I mean, the numbers are somewhat varied. I don't think anybody, including a real estate broker, has a crystal ball of what something's gonna sell for. It's gonna sell what it's gonna be worth. So, whatever somebody's willing to pay for it. I would think it would be easiest on the town if we went with just, I know we talked about spreading it around. I would stick with one broker, get a relationship with that person and move forward. With that being said, I think, again, they were all good brokers. I make a motion, we move forward with Casey Gray from Remax Coastal to list and sell the properties that are ready to sell.
I'll second that.
Okay, discussion?
I'm just not, like I said, they were all good proposals. we already have a relationship with her down on Alair Drive. You know, we're working with her now on that project.
And from what I've seen, she's been super
She's always responsive.
communicative.
They've done everything so far they said they're gonna do down there. Again, I think the others are probably great options, but we just pick one and, you know, that's the one we know, so.
Yeah, okay, any more discussion? All in favor? Okay, we'll get.
You
that
wanna
in-
let Stan know that we've,
Yep.
if he's not watching, you can reach out to her to get these, well, the agreements are here, so I'm assuming,
She'll have more, it will be.
yeah, Gil can probably sign those.
Most of the ones that Stan said were gonna be involved with any proceeds we go to the state on property.
Those are the ones where they can't find any heirs.
So that would be dogwood properties.
And I don't know which ones, okay, I guess, if they can't, no matter what it is, we're not getting it. It either goes to an heir or to the state, so the best we can do is collect our costs and get them back on the tax roll.
Anything before that time that that law went into effect isn't gonna be affected by that. All our lots on Lake Arrowhead.
Would you be able to go to the microphone? I have somebody point. Go to the microphone, please. Thank you.
It was my understanding that any properties that the town acquired prior to the new law that went into effect 2 years ago weren't gonna be affected by this. Our lots in Lake Arrowhead aren't affected by it.
They're not because of the way they were obtained, most of them, I believe. Right, if they were obtained by court order or settlement, then that doesn't become the case. It's only the ones that are tax acquired.
And,
So-
and the town's only gonna issue, quitclaim deeds on this property, right?
Yeah, her contract here spells that out, that the buyer would get a municipal quitclaim deed. Yeah.
Okay, next item is discussion of November ballot questions. Got a few of them listed here.
You have a draft, you did print one like that,
Yes,
and now it looks like.
oh, yes.
You
Right
do
on
have a
top.
copy of Stan's
Yes.
ordinance too,
Okay, well,
that's the
I'll,
one that we put on before.
yes, I'll make a note of the ones that are here. Article 1, choosing a moderator, which won't be part of the town, you know, the informational meeting, but Article 2, shall the town approve the new charter recommended by the Charter Commission? A copy of the charter is available at the town hall and on the town website. Article 3, shall the town vote by secret ballot on all warrant articles and elected positions for the March 2024 annual election? And Article 4, shall an ordinance entitled Town of Limerick Business Licensing Ordinance be enacted? A copy of the proposed ordinance is available at the town hall and on the town website. That's the one Stan was reviewing.
That's the one that he wants.
Did he say that there's already a business license ordinance? No, okay.
The only thing that, was passed was shall all businesses in town be required to register the CEO?
Okay.
That's what we have.
Okay, that's all we have at this point.
And I had a conversation with Dee, and she had said she had a conversation with Natalie at one point that we don't have to vote on the secret ballot question, that we can go ahead and do that. So, I don't know if you want me to reach out to Natalie and get something from her that says we don't have to do that again, or?
Yeah, if we confirm that, we don't have to put it on the, put it out for the ballot.
Why did she say we don't, why do you think we don't have to?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly why. So I think she said you have that power. Not have a town meeting. But I just want to make sure that it's, clarified if we, like, don't put it on, that we didn't just do something that'll come back.
Yeah, if we can just get a clarification of that, we can eliminate that
Reach
one.
out to Natalie and ask.
And there is something about the way the voting will be done, for the annual town meeting in the charter.
Well, I
It is
realize
spelled
that
out.
too, so I don't know if the wording has to have anything in it, like if the charter passes, it would then, go by what, I don't know what other,
The
the other,
charter states.
yeah, the
The
others.
charter states it,
Would
you
be
know,
at the town meeting.
in-person town meeting,
Yeah, so I wasn't
which,
sure that's sort of conflicting too.
I don't think that the charter says it's a requirement, though. I can't remember specific wording, but,
I can't open my email, there's no Wi-Fi. I can't get any Wi-Fi. I asked Wendy about it and she sent me an expert of the charter, in my email, and I'm trying to,
there's one right out in the hallway.
I'll go grab it.
If you want.
Hopefully I can find it.
Right by, yeah, right by the door.
She doesn't have any clue either. I think that they still elect a moderator even with the secret.
Yeah, you have to, yeah, we have to have that written. And I guess you need to vote for Stan to move forward with the properties to be sold by the realtor. So you need to vote on the 2 Dog Road and a motion and a,
We did.
oh, yeah, you did.
Made a motion to move forward with Casey Ray and so on.
Hey, I even wrote it down. I'm really doing my job. Sorry.
Join the team.
So is the business licensing ordinance good? Are you leaving that to vote?
I don't see anything.
I think it's gonna need, if someone starts reading this and doesn't get to the last page, but reads the first page, the very first page says, "No person shall carry on any business or other activity subject to a license or permit requirement under this ordinance or any other applicable law without such a license or permit. A copy of each license or permit shall be kept in the licensed premises for inspection." Now, I see when you get towards the back, it talks about the handful of categories that we are gonna require licenses. Anybody who has a liquor license, catering license, game of chance, Beano and bingo, places of assembly and temporary exhibitions, sports shooting ranges, tattoo artists, automobile graveyards, junkyards, and automobile recycling facilities, and pawnbrokers. So it's,
So I did find it in the charter, and it kind of, it doesn't, from what I can see. 2.2.7 is the annual town meeting. It reads, "The annual town meeting shall be held on the second Friday in March. The specific place and time shall be decided by the board in conjunction with the town clerk and shall be announced in accordance with section 2.2.4 of this article. In extenuating circumstances, the board may adjust the date of the annual town meeting." The first article of the annual town meeting will be the election of the moderator. The next order of business will be for the register of voters to certify that a quorum is present for the town meeting. And then there's one other expert. So it doesn't ballot or in person. Okay. So that would be still left up to, okay.
If it's in the charter, would we be able to change it by secret ballot in November like we have been? Or would we be required then to have the annual town meeting?
Well, from my interpretation of this, it states that there's no, it doesn't state either or. So it doesn't state either by secret ballot or in person. So I don't know, I'm pretty sure that would be left up to us or the people of the town. Yeah, and there was a conversation, I think 2 weeks ago, to make it indefinitely. You know, by secret ballot, you know, there's been a lot more turnout with that. And we wanted to see if it was on the charter in any way, and that answers it. So from what I understand is that it's in there, it states that there is an annual town meeting, but it doesn't state how the town meeting
I mean, I can
is being
clarify
voted
that
on.
when I reach out about it.
Okay.
Just ask her what, I mean, she's clearly seen our charter greatly lately.
Okay, well, did we need to vote on whether to add Stan's, on this topic, yes. Okay.
I think we switched back.
Hi, Brad Libby. The business ordinance that was discussed just a short while ago, is this a done deal? It's going on the ballot, or are we having public hearings and discussions on the particulars of this, or is it going to be just put to the voters as it's been presented?
Well, there will be a public hearing, definitely.
Oh, good.
I think we might need to decide tonight on whether we want to include that to be subject to the public hearing.
Okay, good. Thank
But
you.
we have to have this put together before the public, I mean, the public hearing will
Oh, you need
explain.
to decide, like, next,
So
this- yeah, the 6th, this has to go to Dee Dee, so this
There
is
will be
either
a-
on or off.
there will be a public hearing, but nothing can be changed. It can just discuss what's in, you know what I mean?
So you'll have to.
So if we agree to put this on, it will go on as you see it here.
Okay, if who agrees?
What's that?
I just heard what I think you said, if we agree,
If the board,
if the board agrees.
the board agrees to put this on, it will go on as you see it. However, there will be a chance to discuss it, so people can vote yes or no based on what's there.
Okay, didn't we just enact a business ordinance last year? It was determined at that time that it needed to be a voluntary participation in those businesses which wished to do it?
Pretty much. Now, I don't know how much you heard or saw of this or what you missed.
I missed a lot of it.
So this wouldn't affect your business.
It would not.
This would not, the way this is written, it would not affect your business.
Okay, so there's nothing retroactive, is that what I'm
No,
understanding?
well, this is only, so the only people that are gonna be required to get a business license with the town are people that already need some sort of licensing with the state. So if you're selling liquor, so it's been pared down.
Oh, I like
to-
this a lot better now.
It's been, not in my backyard, right? It's been pared down to businesses that need licensing with the state already. So if you have to get a liquor license with the state, you need to register your business with the town.
Okay.
If you have to get, if you have a used car license that's gotta be through the state, then you need to register with the town. If you have a plumber's license through the state,
I don't.
you don't, but you don't have to register that with the town, because that's nothing we would license at all. So it doesn't, it's not every state license, it's people that have to get licensed with the state to operate. And.
Vendors.
And be ones that we would have to put an approval on too, because if somebody wants a liquor license, they can't get it from the state until the town says okay. So, once that's done, then they have to register their business with the town. So, you were probably walking over when I listed the businesses that it's gonna affect.
I may have been. As Emily Latella once said, never mind.
So just don't sell liquor or do tattoo work, and you'll be all set.
As long as you're not doing tattoos over there, you should be all set.
Not yet. Thank you.
Of course.
No bingo either.
Oh, come on. Poker?
No, game of chance.
That's a backroom thing. Okay, next item on here is, we need to re-sign the purchase policy, so we'll do that after.
We need to
have
vote.
decide what's going on, because this has to be to Dee Dee by September 6th. So we don't have another meeting, so, like, if those are gonna be I mean, clearly I'll reach out to Natalie tomorrow about the secret ballot thing, but then you'll have to come in next week and sign it. So we have to go with it and motion, move on.
Is this something that could wait till the annual town meeting?
What?
The business license, because didn't we get a request to only necessary, I'm not saying it's not necessary, but only dire necessary stuff should be on this ballot,
Given the focus is.
given the focus of the presidential. So, for that, I would recommend that we would wait to put it on.
I'm hoping everyone will let me in.
You have my vote.
Yeah, me too.
I think, if, under section 103 where it says license required, if in parentheses after that it said, please see Article 2, I'd be very comfortable with moving it forward, because if we were to give this to Brad and he were to read it, he's gonna jump up out of his chair and run over here before he gets to Article 2. Right, and which is what happened, right? You hear the first part, and then, if that said, please see Article 2, and, you know, I guess the one part of it I do like is, I don't know, if you're gonna operate a business in town and you want a license, pay your taxes, right? I think that's a small piece to ask. And we do have some businesses that would be required under this that tend to drag on paying their taxes. So this enforces that. If you want to come in here for a license and you want us to authorize you to operate in town and use our resources with the code officer and our board to license you, then pay your taxes up to date. I don't think that's too much to ask. Other than that, it's pretty much,
And it has changed a lot
it's
since,
changed, it's pared way down. And these businesses, they're coming in front of us anyway, so they're not like they're gonna hide. They have to come to us to get licensed. It just means they go down the hall and give their information that they already have to the code office. I don't think it's, it's definitely pared back from the page and page and page and page and page that we had. So,
Well, is that a motion to include the business license ordinance on the November ballot?
I make that motion with a change on page 1, under section 103, to refer to Article 2.
Section what, 103?
Section 103,
To refer to Article 2.
to refer to Article 2.
I'll second that.
Okay, any more discussion? All in favor?
Okay, so those are the three, depending on what Natalie says, either that's gonna stay or come off.
Stan has not given any, zoning,
No,
Updates
they sounded like that was gonna have to wait until March.
yeah, all right, that's fine. I think he's found, I've talked about, he's found several, I don't wanna speak for him. He's found some zoning ordinances that have been passed and voted on, but never really put on paper. So we voted them, we passed them. The paper copy that people get has not been updated. So there are some things, I think he's working on a lot of that now, to go back and look at the stuff that we have approved, because some of the things we're talking about adding, we've already approved. So it's just a matter of getting our documents in order.
And that's another thing that will fall to the town manager, to make sure that that stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Okay, well then, moving on, we need to re-sign the purchase policy. We can do that after the meeting. Got it here. And then moving on to new business, to sign the updated building emergency policy. Do we all have that in our folder?
So we have a second, electrician that was updated.
Okay, well, have we all seen that to review it? And
It was just adding the second electrician, I think we,
Sign that afterwards.
yep, we can sign that after.
Okay, well, first need a motion to accept the policy on building emergencies.
So moved.
I'll second the change. We've already got the policy, we're just making a change to it.
Yes, but, yeah,
So I would
we'll need to re-sign it.
second a change.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, we'll sign that after the meeting. And then sign assessor's return from York County Commissioner's Office. Okay, is there a motion to accept and sign the return from the York County Commissioner's Office?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, discussion? All in favor? Okay, we'll sign that as well. Discussion of separating community services, library and recreation to make them separate departments on the green sheet and the warrant. I know that was a request that Cindy made last meeting.
I mean,
What was her reason for that, did she?
Well, I think their departments are different, and if some of our things that, the way that they're voted, you may not agree with one, but you have to vote one way or the other for both, since they're lumped together. So I think she'd like to see them be separated. You're voting for library budget, you're voting for a rec budget. And we have a lot of questions that are like that.
Well, a lot of work went into, a lot of years ago, to combining a lot of this stuff to make voting a little easier. I mean, the green sheet is, I guess I can understand that, that some department head may think that the whole budget's, or that whole article might get voted down because of something in one of the other departments. But where we have that all through here.
Yeah, I'm thinking, would that open the door for others to want to try
Yeah,
and
you know,
separate themselves?
What's that? Yeah, the green sheet breaks it down pretty well. I mean, they're separated out pretty well, and boy, unless there's been something really radical, like a $40,000 basketball court, or whatever it might be, there's, I mean, in my memory serves that, like, that's one of the articles that flies through. Like, everybody wants the library, everybody wants the rec. I mean, it's pretty rare that, I mean, the,
Basketball court would be a separate.
it would be,
Yeah, that would-
and if it was.
That would
but
be
I'm
a
just saying,
capital
yeah,
item,
there
so
was-
yes.
There's, I mean, the library, I mean, the rec department should worry, because the library's carrying 90% of this article. So, I don't see any real
Need.
benefit or need to change it.
Okay, well, let's keep it as it is.
I think if we want to look at that, I think we start looking at that early in the year for next year and see if we want, I mean, I think it's, at this point, to break, it wouldn't be horrible to break out, I mean, that difficult, but to do it for one department, do we now look at, you
Yeah.
know?
Can of worms.
Yeah,
Okay, well, then, next item is a hearing of citizens.
No, there's,
Sign the agreement for adult ed.
Oh,
I make a motion, we sign the adult ed agreement with RSU 57.
I'll second that.
okay, all in favor? Okay, we'll have to,
Hearing of citizens, anyone? I make a motion to
no,
adjourn.
not
You got-
yet, I have something
Yeah,
to
hold on,
try.
relax.
So budget templates are due next Tuesday. I suggest somebody reach out to Stephanie and ask for an extra week or two. I have them, I've gone through everyone, I've marked notes on I've looked at all charts what we have for unexpended amounts, written notes, so you know what we have. We need maybe up it, we can save some, we can keep it the same. But,
You know, for our budget,
yeah, our 19 templates. But next Tuesday is week away. So I don't know if you feel like we have them ready, or, like I said, if you get an extension from budget committee.
I'm gonna make a radical proposal. Take every line item you have, add 5% to it, and submit it,
I don't think we have to on some of them.
okay?
I feel pretty good about some of them, like where we're at. I mean, I think there are some, for sure, I can tell you some of them that we're gonna be, either we're gonna come out just right, or some of them are already over a little, for certain reasons, right? I mean,
Yeah,
then there are some that I'm like, I don't think we have to budget quite this, like we look good. But, there are a few things I need to talk to Julie about, there are a few things that need to be swapped in accounts that don't match up to the green sheet. Like we have I think it's an insurance, like she has the FICA and the, amount of insurance swapped. So one account shows greatly in the red and one, so I understand the line budget still, what it shows, but when you look at the breakdown, you don't understand why it's $18,000 in the hole, but it does when you see why.
see it somewhere else.
I'm happy to type that up and share it with you, so you can each see where I feel like we are. There definitely are some that, need a little bit discussion. We definitely, we need more in our sidewalking contract. We need less in our Highland Annex Cemetery.
Do you
Because,
have time this week that benefit?
sure,
for-
yeah, definitely, yep. I just, like you said, Monday's a holiday.
Right.
I just don't want to have, if we just need to reach out to Stephanie, just ask for an extra week. Happy to meet this week, and then if we have any glitches on anything, we have an extra week. I just want to know where you guys feel about that. I'm happy to put a 5% merit raise in for myself, if you'd like.
We do,
He said,
He did say 5%.
On every line item.
the cost of living we know comes in,
Which,
that's the one thing we put in after the fact, so.
which anything I've read seems like it's going to be a normal,
30-something.
I don't even know if it was that much, just under 3,
2.8.
2 point something, yeah. I think it's probably be about that. But I don't know if there's any other things that, you guys, by having them, have seen that, you know, thoughts on them either.
Well, we definitely need to, at some point, have a discussion on, are we gonna go back to look for more money for paving, for painting, you know, those capital items that we've talked about, even though the couple got turned down.
Well, painting got approved.
Yeah, so we continue to add to that.
And JP's quote, just so you know, was exactly the same as last year.
Fuel oil.
Yep.
That's the same, but,
Well, no, I just mean
Yeah.
like at least, and then you can see where we're at with it, but it wasn't anymore. Like it was exactly
it
the
was the
same.
same price, but,
Yes.
and I would say, I would still recommend adding something to that, because what if it's colder?
Yeah, I mean,
Right? You don't use as much oil as you
Yeah,
know,
no,
so
absolutely.
I'd rather have a little, that's an area where if you put it and you don't use it, it doesn't get spent.
But I was
It goes
relieved
back,
at least when
so.
I saw that it was the
Yeah.
same. I thought that was good at least. I think the MMA, the insurance one, I know I gave it to you a little while ago, but our buildings, a substantial increase in replacement values.
When are you supposed to
Have we-
actually meet with them? What's the date? Like, I
The
would-
budget committee?
Yeah.
I don't have the schedule in front of me.
So not this Thursday, but the week after, I believe.
I don't think we're the first, we're not first though.
And could we consider having a budget workshop on the 3rd, next Tuesday? To talk about the capital items, if we met, we could do it tonight.
Yeah, I mean,
Or
I feel like
something.
I have a pretty good,
Yeah,
like you can, I've got it, so you can see last year's numbers, you can see, I'll get an updated, the one I've been working with is the end of July, but I'll get an updated unexpended balance from Julie.
you're just gonna need to save some hours, because you may be here till midnight, because she wants it on the 3rd, not 12:01 a.m. on the 4th. She said the 3rd, so we have to midnight. So, does that make sense? Do you wanna
Yeah.
meet and do that and
Yeah, let's do that.
look at the capital stuff and if,
9:03,
yeah,
make it a meeting at 7,
a workshop,
well, workshop, yeah.
budget discussions only.
Okay.
The 3rd,
3rd,
Tuesday,
Tuesday.
second's Labor Day.
No,
No,
we're back on the 9th every week.
yeah,
Thank you.
Okay, well, I'll entertain that motion.
yeah. One more gentleman like to speak.
Not sure what the rest of the sidewalks in town look like, but the sidewalk out front here on Washington Street is taking on the appearance of a need to be mowed. Anyone notice all the grass growing up through there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's starting to look a little shaky again.
Dean did it last year. You want to see if we can do it again?
He mowed it?
They trimmed it all.
Yeah, there was someone
Ask
out here
our
just a
mowing-
couple,
our Highland.
several weeks ago that did it, and they did a nice job.
Someone did it?
Yeah.
Weeks ago?
Oh, maybe a month ago.
Oh,
But, yeah, they did a good job, but it's coming right back with a vengeance.
Who did it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
They did it last year.
Yeah, I doubt they just did it without.
They would have done it this year, they'll ask them. Double check with them.
Yeah, I can ask. If they are good and don't want to do it, may I ask our mowing contractor that we have in Highland, Jackson?
Yeah,
Want to do it, or do you have any other people?
I would think between the two of them, one of them will do it.
Will they?
So all we can do is, we can't treat it with anything. All we can do is, we did that. Huh? We did that one year and it
Didn't
took,
work.
it worked, but it took forever.
It's so
I used to do that at the campground.
It took,
bad. I'm telling you, those weeds.
it took a long, long time and they still came back.
Grass.
Coal to kill it,
I don't know.
takes rust off bumpers.
Weeds, I think it's
I don't know.
faster.
What'd you say? Coke? Yeah,
Well,
literally.
they say,
Just ask.
I know. The grass will grow anywhere except where you want it to.
You know, it's like air.
I resemble that remark. Well, that's it. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, thank you, everyone.